Okay, it's 7 o'clock in the evening and it's my last day here at IFA. I've had enough. I have walked the hind legs off a donkey. My legs are absolutely killing. I'm most probably walking somewhere in the region of 25 kilometers a day around this huge exhibit. It consists of about 30 buildings altogether, some of them in excess of 30,000 square foot, thousands of different exhibitors from everything to do with the household, whether it's a domestic appliance all the way through to camera equipment, which I'm using at the moment. I have met some great people, had some great experiences, but I've also been very upset. My industry is in disarray. We are producing too many machines that don't last any period of time whatsoever. This whole show, when it comes to the domestic appliance industry, was predominantly about this. AI. They're trying to tell you how a washing machine has advanced so much. Auto-dosing systems, washing machines that tell you how many grams of clothing that you've put into it, how economic it is when it comes to the amount of energy it uses. They are putting on a great big Blue Peter badge to say I'm green, but they're actually manufacturing machines now that only last up to 5 years. Some of the more higher end machines are still here. Miele, for example, had some great machines on their stand, and they are costing somewhere in the region of €2,500. And other companies that you can see in the bottom here, which is Midea, who are coming from China, are producing a lot of the lower end machines and a lot of rubbish. They are selling to companies that sell on Amazon and also eBay and other shopping channels, and they sell to individual businesses to allow them to have their own brand. But there is no support when it comes to actually finding parts. This week alone, I've had 3 emails from separate customers about countertop dishwasher, which was some obscure make, and I found out for the customer it was made by Midea. He wanted a heating element. He was unable to purchase the heating element from the company because they turned round to him and said, we don't supply parts. I found out it was made by Midea, but the customer wasn't able to find the part, and nor was I able to help him because the support is not there. You've got to be able to buy parts for a machine and gain the technical information on how to replace the part. If there is no support for components, all we are becoming is a throwaway society. There are manufacturers here who I have made many videos on how to repair their machines, who only wanted to talk about the environmental benefits of AI, the energy consumption of the machines and everything else. But when I actually started approaching these companies and talking about sustainability, they weren't interested. They were just telling me, oh, this washing machine uses less water and less energy, but it's only lasting 4 years. Where is the benefit in that? If you're saving 2 to 3 pence per wash, but the machine only lasts 4 to 5 years, there is no benefit whatsoever. And this is one of the problems I had at this show. And also at the show, there was a great problem with the people on the front end of the stands had no knowledge really of the product itself. When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about from an engineer's point of view. I was asking things like, is this an induction motor or does this machine have carbon brushes in the motor? Is the drum splittable? All sorts of different questions. And really, I was wasting my time. There was no one on half of these stands that had knowledge. In the old days, 20 years ago, you would come here, I would be able to talk to manufacturers. They would have someone on the stand that would be able to give you a rundown of what was in the machine, the benefits, all sorts of different things with regards helping me understand whether it was a good machine or a bad machine, or in how to repair the machine if I had a specific problem. They were only wanting to talk about the benefits of AI, environmental friendly, and everything that's actually building obsolescence into machines. I mean, washing machines now have got machines here that weigh the amount of clothing that you put into it. Well, I'm pretty sure that you lot can work out when you're overloading a machine. It uses less water, therefore, how is it really meant to clean the clothes more efficiently? There are some benefits with a little less water, but at the end of the day, washing on a cold cycle is not really helping the lifespan of the machine. And all these savings that you would get as a consumer are only causing problems in the lifespan of the machine. It is really sad to see. Technology for good purposes and technology for bad purposes. And in the domestic appliance game, it all seems to be about convincing you, the consumer, that you need all these extra gizmos to do your washing. I don't think you're that stupid. I think you actually understand that when a washing machine drum is half full, it's pretty much the maximum you can put in the machine. I pretty much understand that if you're saving 2 pence per wash because it's environmental friendly, but the machine only lasts 4 or 5 years, that you know there's not a beneficial gain for you, the consumer. All it is having a badge to say, I'm being environmental friendly, but really I'm building in obsolescence. We've got to be able to have certain brands supplying parts and giving us the right to repair for at least 5 to 10 years minimum. I understand the advancement in technology when it comes to induction motors using less copper, circuit board technology having to be involved to run those motors. There are some things that are very beneficial to the environment and to you, the consumer. But it's wrong to actually bolt in so much complicated things to actually reduce the lifespan of the machine deliberately. And I say deliberately, and I mean that wholeheartedly. I have never, ever seen this industry in such a mess. It's embarrassing to actually say I'm a white goods engineer. I also looked at cooker manufacturers. There was thousands of different cooker manufacturers here. And air fat fryers, thousands of them. And it really disheartens me that a good quality machine, which I have in my camper, and I came here specifically with a question I wanted to ask someone at high-ranking level. Ninja, build a really great quality air fat fryer. And I've got one that works perfectly in my van. Now, it's got a heating element. And let me just quickly explain the difference between an air fat fryer and a conventional cooker. There is no difference. An air fat fryer is a much smaller compartment, so it uses less energy to cook. It cooks faster because of the air flows inside. All it has is a heating element and a good fan system and a directional flow for the hot air to go around. They're well insulated. Anyway, this Ninja air fat fryer that I've got, I wanted to ask them, why can't I buy the element? And the answer was, well, we don't have to supply it. So I said, outside of warranty, if the element goes, how can I obtain an element? And basically the answer was, you can't, which is ludicrous. It's a £300 item, but I'm unable to buy a simple component like an element. Total madness. The other things I enjoyed about the show, it was really interesting to see some cooker manufacturers still going. Although a lot of components are not being made in Italy anymore. There was a Spanish company which has been about for 50 years that still produce good quality selector switches, which I just made a video on. There was thousands and thousands of different exhibitors, everything from hair dryers, hair tongue curlers and everything else, which ain't a lot of use to me, but there we go. I could do with a razor or two, I must admit, but it's been a long week. There was great things here with regards the technology that I'm using to make this video for you. You'll notice that the camera is following me around. Now I'm using an iPhone camera, which has got a tracking system on the stand, which is made by a company called Insta. This is an Insta Flow, and it's a great piece of technology. It's a very good system. It allows me to make these videos for you, and it's got the capability of tracking me as I move. Brilliant technology, really useful. I use Rode microphones to give you good quality audio, and there are so many other products from reputable companies like DJI and all sorts of people here. I even managed to speak to some representatives from Google, with regards their Gemini, which is Gemini is same as ChatGPT. It's AI basically helping you with your day-to-day life in information, creating articles or doing research, multiple uses for it, and I was really pleased to get a better understanding in things like that. But there was just far too few people at this exhibition when it comes to understanding what's inside components and how they're built. There was too many front-end people and not enough back-end people. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. The German hospitality has been absolutely second to none. The German transportation system has blown me away. Not only their timekeeping, but also the way they try to keep it affordable for the general public. I've only spent 14 euros for the whole week on transportation. That's a 20-minute bus ride there and back each day, a 30-minute train ride there and back each day for 5 days. 14 euros. Where are we going wrong? Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I've got a couple of places to stop off on the way back to England, which will be some other videos. I've got some surprises for you. I'm going to a part distributor, which we use to ship the parts to you. I'm also going to have a quick break in Holland because I want a couple of days on the coast, which I've never been to. And then I'll be catching the ferry back over to the UK to spend a few weeks making some videos, visiting family and so on, and then coming back into Europe for my big trip. Anyway, as Wiedersehen from Germany. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video and the other videos to come.